So finishing brunch before I go to Red Square to analyse, watch, discuss some of the games today, especially the evening ones. Spain plays again against Morocco. Morocco that's been already is unable to qualify, but has got 12,000 very proud fans, happy with the performance of the team, happy with the fact that the way they play, they had more possession than their rivals, both Iran and Portugal. They shoot on goal as often as Spain in the last two games, and the lack of an effective striker has killed them. But I agree with René Herbert that actually the VAR has worked against Morocco, and that is my issue with it. Why are there so many interpretations of what should be a clear-cut decision? And that's because football is like that, and that's because referee will always be like that, with or without VAR. He was actually complaining that in the goal of Ronaldo, Pepe made a foul on somebody that should have been given, and also said that there was a handball from Pepe in the box that should have been given because Australia were penalised with the same kind of incident, a handball that was given as a penalty. So, all in all, he's not making excuses. He's actually saying that what's happened doesn't reflect what Morocco is about, and I completely agree with him. Fullbacks that are so offensive, as Ran, who's right back for Real Madrid, but plays on the left-hand side. Amrabat, even who's really a winger, has played against Iran as a fullback. And Ziyech has to improve, but is giving flashes of quality. This is a team really that is better than the results have shown. They were unlucky against Iran not to score at the beginning, and then of course conceding right at the end, and they played better than Portugal. Spain, on the other hand, are debating a couple of things. One, now that the Gea situation has been sorted and everybody is focusing on the fact that he will be the number one the rest of the tournament, and yes, there were doubts because of his performance against Portugal, doubts in the minds of the fans and the media, not so much of the coaching staff. Hierro always said he's one of the family. He made mistakes, yes, but we'll back him up. As well as that, the other two things that have been discussed is who should partner Busquets, because the centre-backs get really exposed with Busquets being the only holding midfielder, and that could have been bad for Spain. It showed against Portugal that Busquets didn't have a clear idea if he had to push up for pressure high or stay with the centre-backs. What that meant, of course, is that sometimes the second balls were won by Portugal. And in Iran, what happened is that Busquets was forced to be braver, to pressure high, but then that left the Piqué and Ramos exposed, and they didn't seem much comfortable with so much space. Of course, the defensive line has to be very high, so when we lose the ball, if the Busquets line or the pressure gets beaten, then it is danger. So we're going to have to correct that, and I think it will be by using Koke next to Busquets. The rest, the other mini debate really, is about Iniesta. Does he need rest? Does he need to perhaps start and not finish like he has done in the last 8 games with Spain, or maybe come on at the end? And I say he's got to start. If he feels okay, if he's not injured, he's got to start, because for me, as I've been saying all along, Spain has been taken too far away from what made us win. Spain was about positional game, about everybody knowing the roles, about when somebody had the ball, knowing that there were 3 or 4 possibilities, because everybody more or less stayed in their place. And if we lost possession, we'll be there to get it back. Well, it's a mixture of that with a more direct football, when Koke plays with Costa, with Isco, who likes to drive with the ball, and by doing that attracts defenders, yes, but at the same time disorganize the attack of Spain. It is a mixture of styles, the positional game against possession for possession. All in all, it seems like if Spain is going to go far in this tournament, it's going to be down to the individual quality of the players, not so much of the collective strength. As I said, at the back, there are doubts, including De Gea there, perhaps lacking confidence. and in the way we attack, there is not enough organisation. But we've got Costa at the moment, who've been sorting out games, of course, and we should see more of Silva, maybe Marco Asensio if he comes from the bench. I think Lucas Vázquez didn't make a big impact, so it will be down to those to see Spain through. We want to be first, that's what everybody's saying, because by being first you avoid the draw that has got the likes of perhaps England, maybe Argentina, Nigeria, Brazil, France, etc. That should be in the other side of the draw. But we will see, because of course Portugal plays Iran. I think this is going to be a massive game, intense game, in which Iran, if they score, could make life very difficult for Portugal, because Portugal struggles with their attacking a team that is very, very defensive. They struggle with that. They haven't been at their best, quite clearly, but Ronaldo has been saving them. I just wonder, in this Messi-Ronaldo debate, if he doesn't score, Ronaldo doesn't score on this one, if it's just going to create a crisis of identity to a lot of football fans who think that he's going to be scoring 3 goals every game. Football is not like that, we know that. Ronaldo is having an extraordinary tournament. He is, in my eyes, the best goal scorer in history, because he's doing it at a time when it's so difficult to score, and you wouldn't pass him to actually score again. That's the battle, isn't it? Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Harry Kane for the Golden Boot. And what I feel is that there is more and more focusing on the individual. The Messi-Ronaldo debate has been very, very intense. There's more talk about who's going to be the best goal scorer of the tournament than ever, who's going to be the best player of the tournament than ever. Football is going away from the collective, and is becoming down to what society is about, the glorification of the individual, a glorification that obviously gets reflected in advertisements and so on. It's going that way, football, instead of, a representation of a way of understanding the game by a collective and a collective work that, for instance, you saw working very well with England. England were fantastic. I already did a little video on England, but I left one question mark there, and after 6-1, who cares really? Everybody's very happy, of course, but 6 out of the 8 games were set pieces, and only 1 of the 6 games against Panama, very poor Panama, were from playing, from open play. So that's the question mark. Can England play better and distribute the ball better and make a better impact collectively when they play stronger teams? I would have liked everybody, because I believed everybody in England when they said that, we just no expectations and we're going to be humble and all that. As humble as Gareth Southgate is and the team, but the surroundings of the team, the fans, the media, they've started going very big on England winning the World Cup. I wish everybody would have been a little bit more humble, just because we still haven't seen an England being tested. I'm not saying they cannot do it, I'm just saying they have not been tested. It would have been nice to hear, well, let's see how it goes with Belgium, but deep down, perhaps that attitude of low expectations and we're not going to demand much of the side, we're hiding another reality, the fact that everybody's desperate for it, everybody in England, desperate for England to succeed. I am desperate for England to succeed, this England, because they're doing things in the right way, so I hope it goes well for them. That's that. I will just tell you one more thing, 2 more things. One to do with transfers. I published in for the end. First, just to finish with the World Cup, the Queiroz Ronaldo story. You may be aware of it, and some of it I wrote in the Ronaldo biography. Queiroz was the one recommending Sir Alex Ferguson to definitely go and get Ronaldo that had almost had it all agreed at some point with Inter, and then at some point with Liverpool. I think Phil Thompson was travelling with Gerard Houllier or one of them to Portugal to sort it all out, and then they heard that Manchester United blew out of water. No, that's not the expression. Paid more, much more than Liverpool were going to pay, and they took the play, of course. But it was originally a recommendation from Queiroz, who, when he was at Manchester United, pushed Ronaldo, was one of the coaches pushing Ronaldo to the next level, asking Ronaldo to be more of a forward, score more goals, get rid of some of the stuff that the extra dribbling, this idea that he had that when he was running into the wing, instead of put the cross in, he will dribble again, which will get everybody mad, especially Van Nistelrooy. Well, Queiroz was one of the ones giving him instructions of trying to get rid of that. One of many. It wasn't the only one. And then, of course, Queiroz became the national coach of Portugal. Was it in 2008 to 2010? And having been knocked out by Spain, Ronaldo, I saw that, I was there in the mix zone. He said, when he was asked what happened, 1-0 victory to Spain, he says, ask Carlos Queiroz, or ask Queiroz. Tension there, because I think that Portugal, Queiroz had understood that they were perhaps worse than they thought they were. The players thought they were superstars, wanted to be treated as such, wanted the freedom to do whatever they wanted, and Queiroz was trying to impose a much more disciplined idea, which then has succeeded after that. But at that point they weren't ready for it. It was Ronaldo 8 years younger. He didn't like the fact that he had to play sometimes as a number 9 with his back to goal, a lot of things that he didn't enjoy, and there were tension, and they haven't spoken since. So that's another subplot for the Iran-Portugal game, which I think is going to be very hard for Portugal. And about the transfer news, just to say that Lewandowski is going to do everything he can to leave Bayern Munich. Doesn't mean he can do it, because if Bayern Munich says no, it's no, and Bayern Munich have not received any offer. The dream is, of course, to go to Real Madrid. Lewandowski has said privately, and Bayern Munich are aware of this, that he'll do everything he can to get out of there and go to Real Madrid. If he managed to get out of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid are waiting for him, but it's a big, big if. Okay, heading to Red Square now. I'll speak to you later. Bye.